going to be playing a deck featuring a lot of Eldrazi Scions, or as someone calls him, Skions. But I'm going to keep calling those the Eldrazi Scions that are produced by some cards. They are tokens that can produce colorless mana, and that is quite useful. But this deck is going to be using the tokens to make the actual damage, so the plan is to amass a huge swarm of Eldrazi Scions and finish our opponent with a swarm and countless Eldrazi Scions. We have some sacrificial creatures to benefit from using the tokens in case we need the mana. Also, um, a few of enhancement. This equipment is going to be granting a lot of damage to one of our Eldrazi. We have also the Fire Mantle Mage to grant menace to all our creatures, and if we have a lot of 1/1 tokens, this is devastating for the opponent. So let's go ahead and try this deck against some opponents. This deck is fun to play. I think it's not the best token deck out there, but it does a lot of interesting things, and it can defeat many other decks. And I think the weak point of the deck is going to be another token deck. Otherwise, it's a very strong one. Let's see how does it fares against this opponent that is going to be playing white and blue, probably. Well, this hand's a bit slow on lands, but we have all our colors and the blister pot to start with, so we are going to keep it. And the bone splinters is a nice control tool for us. So here comes expedition envoy. So probably our opponent has tools to increase his power. So we want to stop this quick. So probably our opponent is not going to attack with a bear expedition envoy. So here we have to wait. Let's see what happens here. Now we have drawn into a woodland cemetery. This enables us to play our Courier Thrall. Also, this hides the fact that we are using red too. That's not a big deal, but yeah, it might change what our opponent is doing. So far, he's playing white creatures, quite aggressive creatures. I think we should see another color because renowned creatures are very good. But okay, this one, let's see, what should we do here? We can take 2 damage to us, and this creature is going to get renowned. Normally we should block that effect, but we have the bone splinters in our hand to remove this threat. Here comes a blessed spirit. Okay, so this is interesting. Let's wait a bit before using the bone splinters. So we here are going to place the rod shambler, and we are going to attack with the Courier Thrower. If the opponent chooses to block, this will left us with a Eldrazi Scion, and also going to put a +1/+1 counter on the rod shambler. Okay, fair enough. Now our opponent, when attacking with the Consul's Lieutenant, is going to give other creatures +1/+1, and we are up to facing a strong board, tiny many creatures. Let's see what happens here. The flyer, of course, we cannot block. And let's see what happens here. Alright, nothing too spectacular going on. So here I think what to do. Alright, let's start by playing the Evolving Wilds, and let's go ahead and we should... what? Oh no, these planes should... this does not belong here. That's a leftover from some modifications I have been trying with the deck, but I finally removed all the white sources. So here we could go ahead and try to attack with our current troll, but it's going to be eaten by the Consul's Lieutenant. So maybe we should try to remove this big threat from the board. Now the Road Shambler becomes 2-2, and I think we should just here, yeah, let's just drop the equipment here, and perhaps attacking with the Courier Thrall. Let's see if the opponent chooses to block or not. So nothing strange going on. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Solemn Offering is going to destroy the artifact. Okay, this cost us 1 card and 1 mana. Don't worry too much about that. Our opponent has no remaining mana available to save any defeaters, so here we are going to use one of the tricks of the deck to kill the Topan Free Blade and prevent this damage here. So we confirm the block, stop the timer, and go ahead and sacrifice this Eldrazi Scion. This triggers one extra counter for the Road Shambler, and now we have a 3-3. That's our 2-2. Here comes the planes that doesn't belong here. So we're going now to go ahead and attack for 5 points of damage, and we have little action on our hands, so I guess that this card indicates that our opponent is going to place an enchantment soon. So if we do nothing, we are going to take 6 damage next turn. We are too low to take that, so here we spend our other Bone Splinters. This is risky because now we cannot stop other plays from our opponent. Firemental Mage, I think it's not point to be playing that now. The Road Shambler is now vulnerable to many removal. Here, the Suppression Bonds deals with this, and our opponent cannot attack into a 1-1. That's good. So here, what to do? We have just thrown into a land. That's very bad. So we are forced to pass the turn without doing much. So let's hope to draw into something powerful to play. Okay, here comes another threat from our opponent, and this time it is a Bygone Bishop that is going to be creating a lot of clues, so we are pretty in bad shape if we don't draw anything. So I think this is just a loss. We can't do much here, so let's just use our Fragmental Mage to do our final attack. This is going to either make 1 point of damage or take one of the creatures down. So this has menace. Menace forces our opponent to block with 2 or more creatures, and our opponent, of course, let this pass. So not too much hope here. The opponent cracks the clue, draws another card, plays another cheap minion to get more clues. He has lots of damage on board, plus the Cliffside Scout can case all of his attackers. If he has enough mana, we take 2 more damage here. So let's see, okay, just another land that is not going to do much for us. So let's just go ahead and concede this, because there's not much point into dragging out. This is probably a loss. So let's just fix these planes that is somehow escaped this. The deck at one point in time tried to use the Eldrazi Displacer, but well, the Eldrazi Displacer is nice, of course, but it's too ambitious to play 4 colors to do all what we are wanting to do here. So let's go ahead and let's try again. So we have a bit of bad draws. We started with too few lands and ended up with too many, so the draws went against us. A nice card to have in the first turns is Evolutionary Leap, so we can use our creatures to get more creatures. So let's see if this time we have a better luck. Waiting for players to start the match, and here comes, we're against damage. That's a bad omen. We are starting this hand with a single force, but it's not going to be too helpful. So we need to draw a new hand that has just a mountain. So this is dire situation, and this is even worse. Alright, well, at least we have 3 lands in hand, so that is pretty bad. So the luck that we were expecting and requiring to have is gone down the drain. Let's see if our remaining 55 cards can help us here. Let's see what's going on. We could drop this on turn 3 if we draw an untapped land. All of these are going to enter the battlefield tapped, so that is pretty bad. So let's see what we draw. Against blue and white, maybe more colors, but if that is a tempo deck, we are in pretty bad shape. So here I think the smoldering marsh, not a huge difference, but suppose that we draw an untapped land that could be either mountain, forest, or forest, swamp, something like that. We could try to drop this in turn 3. Let's see, Vessel of Ephemera is going to be placing 2 white spirits on the field, so here nothing to match. Let's play this just in case. So if next turn we get the right colors, we could play a 2 or a 1 or 2 drop. Let's see what happens. Blessed Spirits after disenchantment. Maybe this was drawn this turn. So alright, so here we are I'm going to be racing up against a very powerful creature here. What should we have? Let's see. We might be missing a bit of, starting with a bit of forest, just in case. Many of our creatures played with green, so let's see what happens. Now, probably this is going to be sacrificed right away, unless our opponent has a counter spell in hand. So this might be giving away what our opponent is holding in the hand. Let's see what he does. Well, a good player might be thinking that if we have red, we might have enough damage to take this out of the sky. So our opponent attacks for 2. And let's see what happens now. So no place for 3. Well, here's the thing. Either our opponent has a counter spell or doesn't have anything for 3. So let's assume that our opponent has a counter spell. Let's play one of our 2 fire mantle mages. So it resolves. Good, and we drop Rings of Orange Fire. Our opponent uses the enchantment. Now there are 2 more spirits on play. Let's see. This is an interesting deck concept that I want to try at some point, playing with a lot of spirits. There are a few synergistic spirit cards that can flash creatures and give hexproof, but for the time being, the strong point of all those spirits is that they all are going to have flying. That makes our chances to block very limited. So Aberrant Researcher. So let's see. Okay, we can use this to steal one of our opponent creatures. So let's think a bit here what we want to do. Alright, let's go ahead and play this. Let's attack. There is no point into not attacking because we are not going to be able to block anyways. Our opponent might choose to trade here, but it's going to be dealing a bunch of damage, 7 damage to our face. This can even transform in the upkeep to 5 damage. He did, so 9 damage in the air, honoring his name, his alias. Now hits for 9. We are dropping to 5 points of life, and our opponent still might be running a counter spell, so we are in serious trouble here. So let's see. This guy is going to help us bringing up 1 Eldrazi Scion. Not too much that we can do about that. Let's try the swamp. So we could steal one of those, but what for? Okay, let's do it anyways. So yeah, yes, okay. No, do not spend this here. Counter here, and we can deal 11 damage. That is nice, but not nearly enough. There comes one of the flashing spirits. It's going to block this one. So we are going to do just 9 damage. And of course we are going to lose. So okay, concede. Very bad mulligan. So let's try once more and try to show the real power of the deck. We are running uh, how is it called? No me sale. We're having a bad streak of bad draws, and let's see if we can do better now. Go ahead, come on. Our mana curve is actually very low. We have plenty of lands, but we are not having the right cards in hand. So this time the opening hand is playable, so we are going to keep it. We would like to start with Goodland Cemetery. No, let's start with Smothered Marsh. So when we play the Goodland Cemetery, it's going to come to play untapped. We can play Sylvan Ranger. So when the next expansion hits the game, this card is a Goner. It's going to be replaced by another Elves. That is going to be the second time that this card slot is replaced. First, when the game first came out, it was a Cave Creeper Vine. Now it is a... Okay, here, well, we kind of don't mind which colors we run. So it appears that the game developers are not happy with this effect of searching the library to get a new card to put in our hand. Wow, we are facing a colorless blue and red deck, maybe. So here chances are that if we drop any of our creatures, it's going to be killed. So let's just play these Ruins of Oran Reef and just pass the turn. So this blocker gives other colorless creatures +0, +1. Wow, this card is going, on one hand, it's going to be helping us draw our cards. That is good for us. On the other hand, it's going to be producing a lot of pains for us. So we could, if we don't care too much about this effect, we could drop 2 of our cards. I think that's better for us. Let's go ahead and play the aggregate and also the blister pot, and so we reduce the damage taken by fabric visions. So we have to try to play all our hand, because otherwise we're going to be receiving plenty of damage here. We start here drawing an extra card and we receive 2 damage. So lucky for us, we can play the blister pot right away. Let's see what else can we do. So okay, this makes... I'm beginning to think that our opponent is just using this card for defense, and his strategy might be going to be just drawing a lot of cards. So this is probably a milling deck. So here, let's see if we could take away 3 cards of our hand. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. We here we're going to choose 1 red mana. We drop 1 of the blister pots and the last stalker that has haste. So we can now begin to attack our opponent. This land card could be used to gain life, but the opponent needs to have a lot of creatures to do so. That is kind of a strange scenario. Good. We can play our cheap stuff, so this enchantment is actually helping us out here. Let's see what happens next. Our bile aggregate keeps growing, but maybe our opponent has that card, that wave that returns all the cards to our hand. That will be very bad for us. But I think that if he tries to do so, it also returns the favorite visions. Here, let's go ahead and play a forest that comes to play untapped. We can use another bile aggregate. Hola. I don't know. Now we place a control here, and I think that we drop the Sylvan Ranger, but we are not going to search for a land since we don't need that and it can hurt our strategy. Now we go ahead, attack with everything, and of course the Espersoa can block and kill our 5-3, but we kill the Espersoa in return, so here that's not actually too bad for us. Alright, we even managed to ingest some of our opponent cards, and the Flame Shadow Conjuring is perfect. Now if we play a creature we can duplicate that has a lot of synergy with this guy here, and also some of our creatures are going to be producing some Scions. So our deck for the first time in this video is working as we wanted it to. All the colors plus 2 damage to our target. He killed our Sylvan Ranger, it's gone. And he can now produce the white mana, also avoid one attack for at least one turn. Okay, let's play the mountain, let's play the Flame Shadow Conjuring, and what happens here? Alright, as expected, our opponent has used the Vial to block one attack, but we can drop the card throw and duplicate it with the Flame Shadow Conjuring. Okay, we pay extra. This is a token that has haste, but it's going to disappear and at the end of our turn. Alright, 3 more points of damage. And we also draw another card. Alright. One interesting point is that if the token dies, if the copy of the card dies, still it does place the token on field. That is quite useful for us. Part the water bale. Our opponent is going to take an extra turn. So let's see what happens. He draws again. He should be soon using this because he has too low life points, and he's self-milling actually. Too many draw steps. He has lots of cards in hand. Let's see what happens here. Another vial. Okay, this can be used to block, to stop this from, prevent this from attacking, but still not enough to save the opponent. So let's see if he draws the answer. Okay, Cyclone, this could awaken one land when it dies, but still we need to have at least 3 attackers, and we have on board plenty of those. So be mind that our opponent has 2 mana available, so he might have some trick. So we don't have a creature. That is kind of sad for us. So what to do? I think that it's not bad to okay, continue playing. Let's see. Token has entered the battlefield, so we can put another counter. Too bad that the Flame Shadow Conjuring doesn't work on tokens, but well, alright. Here we go, final attack. Our opponent is certainly going to block anything, but it doesn't save it. So, a victory! Finally, we did it. Some strange glitch has occurred. Way! Victory! Okay, well, let's try once more to see. We lost a few matches. The first ones were bitter defeat, so let's try to redeem those by drawing a nice hand here. Let's go. Vamos, que tú puedes. The Scions! For Scions! Let's see. A default avatar and landscape, so not much to try to guess what our opponent is doing. So we are waiting for players to join the match. Angsty Badger. Let's see. Standard 60 card deck, and here we have a slow start, but a turn to play, a nice turn to play. So we are going to keep this. Let's see, maybe we can draw a forest and play the blister pot. No, that was close, but sadly it wasn't it. Okay, let's go, and we are going to well, ideally we should be getting a black mana, but we want to drop the Rot Shambler on 2, and if we get the swamp, this Rootbound Crack enters tapped, so that's not what we want. So let's see. We have enough mana to play the aggregate of 3. Another land. Well, this is not what we like now. Even we would like to see black mana. Alright. This creature seems harmless at first sight, but can grow very large in the proper deck. Here. Okay. So our opponent is not doing much here, so let's go ahead and start hitting with the Eldrazi Obligator. So 4 points of damage and no answers. Okay, that's good. No 2 mana plays for our opponent. I think he got mana screwed, so that's a bit sad for this video. Let's continue playing to see what happens. I would say that our opponent is going for a Landfall team deck, so now Next turn, let's do this here. We go ahead and play the file aggregate here. So we draw into the black mana source that we need, but it enters battlefield tab. So next turn we have a nice combo with these three. So our Rabbit Bite has destroyed our Eldrazi Obligator, but in doing so, our Rod Shambler has earned a +1/+1 counter. So let's see now. Okay, this is a good draw. We go ahead and we are about to grow our bile aggregate. Right, we sacrifice one of these and we can now attack for 6 damage. So normally my line of play is not exactly the best one, because now we have only one card in hand, and if our opponent is playing some sort of sweeper, it's going to get rid of all our creatures, but we are in front of someone that is mana screwed, so we don't care too much about that. So we played this before combat, and our bile aggregate is now a 4/5. So attack. This, I think that is actually a landfall deck, but apparently doesn't has enough lands. So this is a bitter victory because we actually didn't have too much opposition. The only threat were these two cards. This is it. That's the Butcher defeated. So okay, I'm still not satisfied. I want to have a nice match to show the power of the deck. So this is it. Let's go. This is the actual final match. So okay, no matter what, we end the video here. So let's go ahead and let's hope for a nice, decent, no mana screw, no mana float, no opponent leaves. Okay, this is looking promising. At least we are going to be defeated by the vampires on a very hard way, flashy, spectacular way. So we are lacking black, but we can search for it using the Sylvan Ranger. So turn 2 we can drop the Sylvan Ranger. Turn 3 we could play the Carrier Thrall or another play according to what we can draw. So we have the Swamp now. So I still think that the Sylvan Ranger is better play. Here we are going to search for a forest, and for the time being our opponent cannot know that we are running black cards, so this is going to be a surprise for him. So contrary to my expectations, our opponent is not using a vampire deck. That is quite a misleading choice for the face and background, but it just didn't affect our plays too much. Now, here, what are we wanting to do here? Okay, let's drop the swamp, attack not too much that can happen, but still is a good habit to attack first before playing. So nothing occurred, and we drop the thrower. So, aha! Next turn we are now at 19. In 19 more turns, this Sylvan Ranger could kill our opponent. So, let's see what's placed now. The Mountain. He has now 3 colors, the same as us, but we blend white instead of black. So the Stalker has haste, but it returns to our hand at the end of our turn, but we don't have too much else to go for, so let's play Mountain, let's play the Dust Stalker that had 5. It's a huge Eldrazi. It's okay, a fog. Alright. So let's try to figure out what is our opponent trying to do here. Maybe he's trying to play Converge card, but now he has a Scrooge Wolf. Is he going for Delirium or for Werewolf or what? The Heirloom. It's well, this counts as an artifact that helps to activate in Delirium. So now we are going to sacrifice our Carrier Thrower. Okay. We are having an Eldrazi Scion on play, and now we can attack for 6 this time, and our opponent doesn't have mana to play a fog if he is running another one in hand. So let's see. I know why he has this. This is if he has another Oath of Nissa, he has to sacrifice one, and that brings an enchantment card to his cemetery that enables the Delirium. So that's his strategy, and a second Dust Stalker or a Vile Aggregate plus Stoneforge. I think this is better because we can equip this right away. So let's place this where? Okay. Oh no. So I think that was a connection error or something, not an actual concede from our opponent. So too bad that our last game has gone astray down the drain. The AI that has taken over, I don't think is going to know how to use the cards properly. So let's see. Now we know that he has a 2/2 wolf on hand. Here it comes. He has a graveyard fetch. Currently 2 instant cards in cemetery. Now a 3/3 with first strike. On Evolving Wilds, let's see if another color shows up. No. So this should be all the colors in your opponent's deck. So what to do here? So I think that we can safely. Okay, provided our opponent is not using another fog, I think that this is it. So a second Dust Stalker here. We could keep this somewhere else, but if he doesn't have a fog, he's lost. So let's go ahead and kaboom! This dies, but more than enough damage. Well, alright. Okay, the deck won, but the true power didn't come up, so we had no challenge for the deck other than bad draws. So too bad, but this is going to be it for the time being. If you have any suggestions or comments, please place it in the box below the video. We are going to be seeing soon with a new expansion, but in the meantime we are going to be trying some final decks that I like to showcase. See you soon and take care.